Hello everyone, my name is JWinder, and this is my EDL 856 Module 4, Understanding My Community. A little bit about the district that I teach in and its customs and traditions. I teach in the Riverside USD 114 district that is located in Wathena and Elwood, Kansas. We are a consolidated district that was formed in 2011. Both Wathena and Elwood schools are no more, and we created a district utilizing both buildings where we have a pre-K through 2 and a 9 through 12 location in Wathena, that is our west campus, and then we have a 3 through 8 location for those students on the east campus in Elwood. Several of the community and school traditions that have been adopted are homecoming, King and Queen of Courts, prom, which the students just got done with a few weeks ago, year-end athletic banquets to honor our student athletes and team and their accolades. We also have community theater performances. That's a pretty cool thing where our theater department offers a performance where community members can take part. Another tradition that I've noticed happening a lot is community benefit suppers for people or families who are going through a tough time. I've noticed over the years that both of these communities are very giving communities and do whatever they can to help out their neighbor. A local Wathena tradition is the Fall Festival. It is a really cool thing that they put on yearly, brings in lots of people, lots of fun things to do for your family throughout the weekend. And then both communities have several holiday celebrations, Christmas, 4th of July, Easter, for example. They just had Easter egg hunts in both communities with the Easter bunny visiting for the kids. So several holiday celebrations throughout the year in both communities. Some population characteristics or demographics of our Wathena and Elwood communities. We have several people who get their high school diploma, graduate, and go straight into the workforce. We have several people who get their bachelor's degree and go into the workforce after that. And then we have a few people with masters or higher. We have a few doctors and lawyers who have gotten those higher degrees as well. Age ranges from newborns to 90 years plus. Gender, we have almost a 50-50 male and female split as far as how many are living in each community. I would say the top 3 occupations are farming or agricultural jobs, manufacturing jobs, and healthcare jobs. Race, I would say we're at least 90% white with a small percentage of African American and Hispanic population. I would say 100% of the people are United States citizens as well. Communication channels. In our Riverside school community, Facebook and social media is a really big form of communication. It is utilized daily. We've got community and a school Facebook page. Wathena and Elwood each have their own page as well as our school page, and those are utilized daily. The Alert Now system is a call system that the school uses to get messages out to parents right away as needed. That's probably not used every day. The Kansas Chief is a local newspaper that is published weekly. We can put all of the things going on with our students and our athletes in there weekly for people to see. And then a local TV station is KQ2. They come over yearly, do sports reporting, as well as do different stories if something interesting or neat happens at the school. Community groups. In our Riverside school community, we have PTO, parents as teachers. We have a booster club and groups of athletic team parents who help out any way they can. For example, we have team moms who make meals for athletic teams for travel or whatever. They do lots of things to help out their respective teams. We have an FCA organization, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, here at our school. And then in our Riverside community, we have Elwood and Wathena Parks and Recreation departments as well. Local leadership. Wathena and Elwood leadership would consist of the mayor and the city's council in both towns. And then our school leadership is comprised of our school board, our superintendent, and our principals. Economic conditions. I would say in our Wathena and Elwood communities, they're low to stable. We have a few issues causing some low economic conditions at times for people. The Missouri River flood has been an ongoing issue. In '93, we had the big flood, which damaged the communities tremendously and set several people back. And then there was another scare that happened. We actually had to move our school to the West Campus. We had to move the East Campus all the way to the West Campus. We utilized the Wathena Baptist Church. We had to have school. Parts of our school took part in the Baptist Church. Parts of it was shoved into our West Campus facility. That was on our last flooding scare a few years ago. They've recently been reinforcing the levee and really strengthening it, and it is supposed to be in a much better state so that we hopefully never have to deal with that again. Number two reason would be transitional families. We have lots of transitional families that move in and out often. They may be looking for housing. They may be going through a tough family situation. They may be coming from Missouri to Kansas because we're right next to St. Joe, Missouri. So lots of transitional families. And then the third one would be job loss. I think lots of people have experienced job loss here or there, especially with the pandemic and things like that going on. And then I would say that the other end of the spectrum would be stable economic conditions because of good farming around here. We have lots of good manufacturing jobs and manufacturing plants in both communities, and then healthcare facilities. They're actually building a nice new healthcare facility in Elwood, which is going to bring in over 100 jobs. So I would say that's the range of our economic conditions in both towns. Political structure. Wathena and Elwood communities, I would say, would start with the mayor of each town, the city council in each town, and then would come the school board, and then other influential community members. But I think, as you see in small towns, influential community members, if they want to really help out and serve, they run for school board, or they run for city council, or they run for mayor. So lots of those influential community members end up getting on the city council or getting on the school board and making a difference. A few of the social tensions that I've noticed in our Riverside school communities. Number one would be the tension between two communities because of the consolidated school. I think originally when it first happened, we went through some rough transitions and have since gotten a lot better. I really don't notice a lot of tension. Every now and then you'll see an issue pop up that a certain community might disagree with, so it causes a little tension there. But for the most part, both communities do what's best for kids. Lots of the patrons are friends now, so it hasn't been a huge issue. And then, like most towns, I think the second tension would probably come from political indifference, Republican versus Democrat type issues. But just like the consolidation issue, it's really not a big deal. Don't so not a lot of tension around, but every now and then one of these issues may cause something to flare up. Previous community efforts. The Wathena and Elwood communities have new recreational facilities, very nice recreational facilities. We are currently putting in a new school playground on our East Campus in Elwood. There was a new playground put in on our West Campus in Wathena last year. So both schools have, or both school locations have new playgrounds coming in, as well as Elwood and Wathena both have very nice parks with playgrounds and basketball courts and ball fields as well. And then a few years back, Wathena put in a new community pool, which both communities utilize as well. Power structure. In our Riverside school communities, in the school setting, the school board would be at the top, the superintendent, the principals, and then influential community members. Many of those influential community members, like I said, run for school board and make an influence that way. Multicultural issues. In our Riverside school community, I would say the top multicultural issue would be just emotional distress from life's issues. But I think our school has done a very good job addressing this issue. We have school social workers, counselors, therapists. We have school social workers and counselors on each campus. We have a therapist that goes to both campuses. Many of those counselors and social workers are doing social emotional learning lessons, trying to help students the best way they can. I'm actually a K-5 physical education teacher, and almost weekly I'll have a counselor, a social worker, a therapist waiting at my door for an appointment they may have for a student. So we're really trying to tackle that issue and support students. I feel like we're going in the right direction there. Public opinion in our Riverside school communities. The school puts out surveys yearly to kind of gauge the opinion of the public and kind of see how they're feeling about how things are going. So we do community-wide surveys, school-wide surveys. And then, as you know, in small towns, word travels fast. So lots of times you just hear that public opinion because someone shared it and then you hear it. And then you can also share your opinion at a school board. You can get an appointment or whatever and share in the public forum. So those are the ways that the public opinion is shared, and we kind of hear that in those various different ways. There's a little snapshot of the Riverside USD 114 district in Wathena and Elwood, Kansas. I hope you enjoyed listening. Have a great evening.